So, for context, I am 17 years old and have an older sister who is 20 years old. Let's call her Claire. She moved out when she was 18 and I was 16, so this all happened before that point. I have had a harsh family life. My father was abusive and my mother was neglectful, which greatly affected all 5 of us children mentally. I am the youngest and Claire is the second youngest. Claire was also treated badly, but she was the youngest golden child. Until I came along, I was an accident. This significantly impacted her life. I was never the golden child, but she remained it. The problem was that everyone in our family was abusive. I grew up without a family to trust or love, and Claire expressed her hatred for me every day. She would laugh when I was abused or punished and even told me that everyone would be happier if I was no longer around, in a very harsh and cruel way. She would hurt me to the point where I genuinely believed my life was in danger. Because I was the youngest, she would sometimes get punished if I cried enough about it. It was never as severe as the others, but she hated me for it. She would keep me awake at night for weeks or even months so I wouldn't be able to sleep. The situation continued to worsen, and I was eventually removed from school because I would have breakdowns so frequently and couldn't cope anymore. The school social worker never helped, and they even dismissed my physical injuries as not being caused by human hands. They claimed that my anxiety was too severe for me to stay in school, so I was transferred to online schooling. Now, Claire moved out 2 years ago, and I've been trying my best to repair our broken sisterly bond ever since. I have shown her love and attention and have made significant efforts to spend time with her. However, she hasn't put in any effort herself. I have always yearned for a loving family that I could trust, and Claire seemed like my best option. Initially, she seemed interested, but that interest soon faded. It all came crashing down in a fight where she blamed everything on me. She said that she was struggling and that I was always the problem. She told me that she had it the hardest and that I was selfish and terrible for being the golden child and playing the victim. It hurt me more than anything, and I can't bear to talk to her anymore. I know she had a difficult life, but she never apologized like I did or tried to mend our relationship, apart from saying that she loves me because I'm her younger sister. Whenever I brought up the abuse, she would make excuses for why she was justified in telling me to end my life and why I deserved all the abuse for being hostile back. I finally came to the decision that I no longer want to consider her my sister. I told her that I would never see her as my sister again and that she should never contact me because she had already quit being a sister and a daughter a long time ago. My family is upset with me. Despite the fact that she barely even texts them, my parents still love her, and they are telling me that I am wrong for saying what I did because she is my sister. I don't know how I should feel, but I have truly never felt a sisterly bond with her. I believe it was a mistake to try and repair a bond we never truly had, and that decision has only ruined what little bond we did have. Am I the idiot? Update. Thank you to everyone for your input. It has made me realize that I shouldn't feel sorry because my abuser was also abused. Just because someone was abused doesn't give them the right or excuse to become an abuser themselves. It's actually embarrassing that some comments have made me consider feeling bad because my sister abused me due to her difficult life, and I should try to understand her because of that. No, I am going to remove toxic figures from my life. Let's stop making excuses for abuse. Abuse has no excuse. And now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Yeah, you may not like the answer, but neither of you are the idiot. You're both damaged young people who haven't worked through trauma or adult issues yet. Your sister needs to find stability before healing can happen. It's hard to achieve in 2023, even for me in my 30s, let alone a 20-year-old from a troubled family. Both of you said hurtful things in the heat of the moment. It's a primal way of relieving stress, even though it's not healthy. Honestly, I suggest apologizing and telling her that you still love her. Extend an olive branch, but give her space. It may take years, if ever, for her to accept it. but you should leave the opportunity open. Healing takes time and effort, and your sister may not have the capacity for that as she starts her adult life. You might not have the capacity for it either when you start your own. You can always cut ties later on, but it's difficult to mend a burned bridge. Comment 2. Thank you for your input. My biggest issue is that I don't have the desire to reach out. We were never close. I made the mistake of reaching out too soon, hoping for the normal, sisterly love that most people experience. I don't think it has anything to do with wanting to be close to her, but rather wanting a family bond that I could never have. Right now, I'm trying to focus on the people who will stick with me forever and who are there for me. But I will let things cool down before making any final decisions. Comment 3. You are the idiot. Whatever toxicity existed in your household, you don't seem bothered enough by it to cut off your parents, but you are cutting off your sister for not giving you the apology you feel entitled to for a snide comment she made while she was clearly struggling. You're 17 and making emotional demands of your older sister, thinking that you fully understand and have the correct view of both of your experiences growing up. It sounds like she's kind of right. Now for the next story. I am a single mom of 2 wonderful boys. I honestly feel lucky how they turned out. They're both giants for their age, but so kind and sweet. I share custody with my ex-husband, Drew. We've been divorced for 5 years now. Every year, it's becoming harder and harder to support us. It's all my fault, and I don't know what else to do. I was with my husband for 14 years, married for 11. We got married relatively young and had kids soon after. I remember the last couple of years feeling trapped in my marriage. Life became very monotonous and boring. I had feeling of resentment for missing out on my youth and not being able to join my friends on a night out. Me and Drew also grew apart. We neglected us. Or maybe I neglected him and he stopped trying. Who knows, but it certainly wasn't exciting. All these feelings built up in me until one day I told him that I wanted a divorce. I couldn't imagine living another month like this, let alone the rest of our lives. He pleaded for us to try to work it out, maybe go away somewhere, but once I said it out loud, I felt like I had a purpose. Once he realized there was no going back, he said, let's split amicably. I'm not proud of the way I acted back then. I got a lawyer and went through with it. At the end, we split the assets, including proceeds from the sale of the house evenly and shared custody of the kids. Just like he offered, I got child support, a whopping $19 a month more than he offered, no alimony, and a pile of attorney's fees. Still, the first few months were great. I had a good support system, I had plenty of babysitting options as everyone was trying to be supportive. Friends were taking me to places, taking my mind off of things, making up for lost time. But after a while, the help dried up. Everyone became busy with their own problems. It was much harder making ends meet with a single income. The apartment I rented was a big downgrade from our house. I'm tired all the time. Whenever my ex had them, I would just end up watching TV and just lying around instead of going out. I've had one semi-serious relationship. It's extremely hard to meet men who are serious about building something. Drew became very distant. I heard of co-parenting situations where exes get along great. Not Drew. He never responds to my texts, only talks about the kids. As they get older, they're enrolled in 3 sports each. There are more and more expenses. I can't afford to buy them the stuff they need, even half of it. Finally, last month I talked to Drew about it, asked him to be more involved in their life, especially financially. Drew flat out refused to contribute a cent more to them over the child support payment and what he pays when he has them. I explained that I simply can't keep up with all of it. He finally said they're welcome to stay with him full-time. He'll cover all their expenses and be wholly responsible for them. If I gave him full custody and signed away my rights, he said you can still see them whenever you like. You'll just have no legal rights. I know the boys would love to live with Dad. They're too nice to say it, but it's obvious Dad is the favorite parent. Am I the idiot for even considering? Would I be the idiot for going through with it? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I don't think you are giving up your rights. You are just making him the primary parent. Have you thought this through, though? If the boys go to him 7 days a week, are you aware that you will get a bill for child support? Not only will you lose the current money, you will owe him money. After all, you have to pay towards your kids. Your ex is cold and distant to you because you upended his life, forced the sale of the family home. It's as simple as that. He doesn't want to be friends, and you are no longer his financial responsibility, so his reaction is to be expected. Not the idiot. If they can have a better life with dad, then why not? Comment 2. It seems like the grass wasn't greener and you're missing the comforts of your old life. How old are your children? If you sign over your rights, will a custody agreement be put into place? Or will your ex cut you out and tell your kids, Mommy doesn't want you anymore? Before you make a huge decision mistake, maybe talk to a therapist. See what you can cut back on, pick up a second job when the kids are with their dad. Comment 3. Only talks about the kids. What do you think a co-parenting relationship is like? You chose to divorce him. You don't get to have him act as your husband because you feel lonely. You need to get over yourself. And maybe you're right in thinking your kids will be better off with their father. Now, for the next story. I, 32-year-old female, have been with the same guy, 31, for over 9 years. We are getting married in 3 weeks at my favorite place, but there's this terrible feeling I have. Since November, I have had a really strong gut feeling he's cheating or lying about something. He's honestly known for being such a great guy to everyone, but one of his best friends cheated on their long-term girlfriend, and my fiancé didn't seem to lose much respect for him. I was basically told to omit the truth as well to not tear up the friend group. I wasn't close with her at the time, so I kept up the lie. That's beside the point here, or is it? My fiancé has been having urinary issues for about a week now. His bachelor party was the weekend before. He went to urgent care but was told it's not a UTI and to drink water. But it seems like one. We haven't had sex in about a month. I am not as intimate as I should be due to medication and PTSD. At dinner tonight, I begged him to go to the emergency room as he's having difficulty urinating still. He's stubborn and doesn't want me to go with him. I said to him with concern, "Do you not want to talk about this because there's something you don't want me to know?" He said, "Maybe, and this is a heavy topic, not for a restaurant." I immediately stopped eating, feeling sick, and asked him what he meant. He seemed to cover and say he was worried about prostate cancer or something serious. I feel like I can't trust him because my ex destroyed me inside 13 years ago. I'm definitely the idiot, aren't I? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot. I would have the same exact concerns as you, so if you're an AH for that, then so am I, lol. But seriously, talk to him about it and express your concerns. Better to find out if something did happen at the bachelor party before the wedding than after, so you can make the decision of whether you should go through with the wedding or not. Keep us updated. Wishing you the best. Comment 2. Not the idiot, but you and your fiancé do need to have that serious conversation ASAP. You need and deserve to know or understand what is on his mind. If it's a health issue, you face it together. If it's some wrongdoing, you need honesty before you commit to him. Comment 3. Not the idiot. I don't think you are. With the bachelor party and the friend, the mind would naturally jump a little, but I think asking in a comfortable way. Now, for the next story. Everyone I know is making me out to be the idiot here, but I really don't think I am. I own my own small house near campus that I inherited from my grandmother. I am 22 years old and female, and I am in my last year of college. I rent out a room to Layla, who is 21 years old. We get along okay. We aren't friends, but we've had no issues for 2 years up until this point. Layla's home life was rough. Her dad went to prison and her mom is an addict. Her mom's new boyfriend is sexually abusing her 2 younger sisters, aged 14 and 9. Her mom is in denial about it and won't think about it because he pays the rent. She wants her 2 sisters to move in with us until she graduates next year and can afford to move out. Her mom agreed to this because she doesn't like having the girls around. They discussed this before even asking me. I don't want these girls to move into my house. I was looking for 1 roommate, not 3. I also dislike kids. We also don't have the room for them. My roommate Layla thinks I should empty out my hobby room for them, or at least let the kids sleep on the couch. This would be a major upset on my lifestyle. It would be hard to study with 2 kids in the house, and I also wouldn't feel comfortable bringing guys over. I offered to let Layla break the lease for free, which I didn't have to. I figure she could move somewhere else and take them. She says it's not possible because she can't afford to move, and there's no cheap housing near campus where she could bring them with her. I feel bad for her, but we aren't really friends, and I don't like her enough to bear this burden. She's guilting me and telling me it's my fault if they go into foster care and that they're still being abused. I told her I'm not letting her renew her lease next month, and she's pissed about that too. Am I the idiot here? There are thousands of kids out there, but I'm no Mother Teresa. I just don't feel obligated to help kids I don't know or have any ties to. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. This is so incredibly sad, but not the idiot, not the idiot, not the idiot, not the idiot, and don't let them move into your house. Next thing you know, your studies will be interrupted by her making you into a free babysitter as the details surrounding their upbringing are revealed to be more and more messed up. Don't let anyone shame you out of protecting your property or your peace. Wish them well, but do it from afar. Your offer to break her lease free of charge is generous, and it's the extent of what you should offer. None of this is your problem to solve. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your roommate needs to find another way. I would not let them move in, not even for a week. You will never be able to get them out if you do. It will be impossible for you to evict them when they don't leave. You own your house. You have to help us. You can't kick us out. We have nowhere to go and we can't pay rent. But you own your house, so you don't need money. Comment 3. Layla is going to contact CPS since I'm not letting them stay here and she doesn't have other options for the next year. She's mad at me because apparently there's a 100% chance they will be abused in foster care and it's all my fault. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day!